Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. Happy New Year. I'm with the Cockerel, Alan Cochrane.
Morning, Happy New Year.
And Laura Solon.
Good morning.
Going beyond friend of the show status, moving into, I think, sort of adopted child.
Hanger on.
Never that. And, yes, so here we are. And you may have noticed that's not our usual opening to the show, is to start with a song. But that's because we have... extensive technical problems.
Oh, it's just a new 2012 thing.
Yeah,
I 2012.
One of the things is, and this is the current state of emergency that we're in at Absolute Radio, I might not be able to play any adverts today. Oh, now, don't switch off straight away. Give it a chance. Give it a chance to see what that's like. We'll probably have BBC phoning up after and saying, hey, I'm liking you guys in the Now and Advert show. Why not? But you know what? We're not going.
I thought you were going to say we'd stolen their idea. That's what we do. Yeah. That's our shtick.
But I think my advice is get the public funding sorted before you go for this move.
Good idea.
Not get rid of the adverts and just hope it's going to come flooding in by contributions.
You could read out the adverts.
I could
act
do that.
them out.
Yeah, I'm happy to read that. I'll do adverts, if you like.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. There are two men in my life. To one I am a mother, to the other I'm a wife, and I give them both the best with natural shredded wheat. There you go.
That's better than Ian Botham's one.
Yeah, a little free bit of advertising there for shredded wheat. That's for keeping our children healthy. Little thank you. Beginning of the year. So, if you want to text us about anything...
we think that still works, though.
That still works, apparently. That's the one thing we've got. So you can text us on 81215 with adverts for your local shops. Any little No, don't do that because there will be problems. But do text us about anything. We always love to hear from you. And it's great to be back after that. Obviously, it's a bit rusty. Like, when everyone gets back to work after the holidays, you're a little bit rusty at first, you know what I mean? It's fine.
Yeah.
Get over it. So, yes. So I think what we have to say is what everyone says is, nice Christmas.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Some people put a weird emphasis on Happy New Year, don't they? They do Happy New Year.
Do they?
Yeah.
No, not in our house.
That's American.
I've heard
stress,
a few people
Happy
do
New
that.
Year.
Happy New Year. Yeah.
To stress, in case you get it confused.
Yeah, it's
with
Happy
the last
New Year. It's as opposed to Miserable New Year. That's the British way.
My Christmas, I've got to be honest, was spoilt somewhat. Partly, obviously, by the death of Kim Jong-il. I think took the edge off everyone's holidays.
Your favourite website.
Yeah, my favourite website, Kim Jong-il looking at things, now feels like a mournful trip down memory lane, whereas it was constantly updated.
Although I spent most of that day on that website.
Did you?
But his son's going to look at stuff, surely.
His son?
That would be
his son, is it Kim Jong-un, is he called, his son?
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like a goth Michael McIntyre. If Michael McIntyre had maybe in the Human League. So that was sad. He stopped looking at things. Well, I suppose
He's looking down on things.
If you count the underside of his eyelids, he's looking at that. You think he's looking down on? I'm sure he's an atheist, Kim Jong-il.
All right. Do they go to a different place? Do they?
Atheists don't go anywhere. They just rot. They wouldn't want it any other way. Christmas for me was, I have to say, completely spoilt by David Jason's face on the BBC One Christmas advert. Which, there's one long lingering... It's a lovely advert. I'm in it. You know, it's nice. It's a lovely... It's all about jolliness and being part of the BBC family. And then there's quite a long close-up of David Jason's steadily imploding face. And I thought... I mean, God bless him. He's been a great comic British figure and all that, but... you know, you get to an age where you think, can we shoot that from a bit further? But it's there. Yeah. Someone said to me, if you put, like, the music from, say, The Omen over it, it'd be one of the most terrifying things I've ever seen. Yeah, so that I won't say it spoiled my Christmas. That's an overstatement.
David Jason can't spoil anyone's Christmas, surely.
Well...
His Christmas.
I think he spoils Nicholas Lyndhurst's Christmas every year. when Nicholas remembers that he'll always be remembered as the face of Fools and Horses, and then there's that tall plonker bloke. He knows everyone's saying that at home. That's going to upset him. It upsets me, just for the unfairness of it.
Absolute Radio, Frank Skinner.
And I watched David Jason's new show, The Queen's Bodyguard.
Did you?
There was a series of pratfalls in it.
Was there?
Yeah, it slaps, it's essentially
No
slaps.
way.
Does he fall over a lot?
Well, this is it, you see. Of
that
course,
safe?
there is no more famous faller
No.
than DJ, because of the bar flap incident.
Yes.
I mean, I
Yeah.
don't think there's a more famous fall in the world than that. I suppose maybe the Third Reich. But it wasn't as funny, was it? It was dragged out, you see. It was dragged out. A punchline, you went, oomph.
And the kids don't know it.
And also, it would have been better if, after the fall of the Third Reich, you'd seen Trigger looking around in a confused way. It would have helped the whole end of the World War II.
It's difficult to put in a clip show.
Yeah, it is.
That's why.
I don't know, there was the World at War. I mean, it was a long clip show. I'll give you that. Yeah, so, and I noticed now he doesn't, there's a bit where he fell over in it, and you see him sort of drop out of camera, and then they cut to him on the floor, and you think, oh, DJ, he's not doing the falls anymore, they're sort of...
He's not doing all his own stunts these days. You think it was a stuntman that fell over?
Oh, it happens to the best of us. It's a difficult business to just go on and on. He's had a good run.
Yeah.
Now get out. So what did you do anything spectacular? We have to have this conversation because everyone does.
Yeah, we had Christmas. We had
No, right.
we've all had Christmas, haven't we?
It sounds like there was a moment when you thought, shall we have Christmas or shall we not?
Shall we
It's
just not
too
do
dear.
this?
I'd like to get... When people say, did you have a nice Christmas, I've often thought of saying, oh, God, Christmas? I forgot all about it. Oh, would that turkey still be edible?
Well, in Europe.
Oh, I don't believe it. Christmas, I knew. See, we haven't seen much telly. We've been busy with, lots of relatives turned up for some reason. Oh, no. I went to church on Christmas
Hold
Day.
the front
Christmas
page.
Day?
No, that's not big news, because some of you may know, new people to the show may not know, I'm a Roman Catholic, right? Don't switch off. I know what you're thinking, Roman Catholic presenter, no adverts. What is it? Medieval Italy? But, no. It's Absolute Radio.
Nice.
And so I went, what I did...
That's your summer in medieval Italy.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, no adverts. That's what I hate about the medieval times. There probably were adverts in a sort of a, I suppose a head on a pikestaff is a sort of an advert for government. It's a sort of party political broadcast, a head on a pikestaff.
It's a negative example, I think.
It is.
Teachers
Hanging,
say.
drawing and quartering was a party political broadcast, wasn't it? Or was it a public service announcement? Anyway, so I went to a Church of England church, like what, most people go to,
Do they?
instead of the slightly elitist Italian version. And I thought, well, this will be a bit different, because they don't do much crossing for a start off. They're a bit like the England team in that respect.
You think they don't do enough crossing, the England team? Is that your...
They don't do enough good crossing. I don't think anyone would argue with that.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I see.
Yeah,
I get it now.
Good.
Oh, that was a late eureka.
Quite a long wait there.
I honestly thought you meant there weren't enough Catholics in the England team, that they weren't running on doing the old...
Yeah, that's what I'm...
That's the biggest problem.
I'm opening the show by saying there aren't enough Catholics in the England football team. It's not exactly Diane Abbott, but I'm working up to it.
Give it time.
I wish Diane Abbott would do a TV show with Elvis Costello, because I think I've got a title up my sleeve.
Do you?
Yeah. So I went to the Church of England service, and it all seemed, it seemed like it was very church-like. Mm-hmm. And I thought it's going to be all right. I'll be able to settle in here. And I say less crossing, but, everyone seemed like lovely. And then there was quite a long slideshow stroke quiz in the middle of the Christmas Day service.
In a church?
In the church, yeah. Done by
quiz?
Done by a man in not the kind of robes we go in for, but some sort of flowing thing.
He was the vicar.
He'd be he might be. I don't know the terminology for the other side. He might have been a deacon.
What would you call him? A priest, if he was...
I'd call him
a
a canon.
Oh, would you?
Yeah, not for any reason other than... Anyway, so he showed a slideshow, pictures of bridges, and we, the congregation, had to guess what bridges they were. They had to identify where they were.
Right.
And there was about 14 at my count.
14 bridges?
Yeah, not like... I thought it was a bridge too far. I'll be honest with you. No, there was a lot, and I didn't feel right to call out being a Catholic. I thought, it's not my gig.
Not your quiz.
But lots of pictures of some of them. He'd throw in auxiliary questions. So he showed the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco, and then it says, "Has anyone here been over the Golden Gate Bridge?" Well, I have been over the Golden Gate Bridge, San Francisco, but I didn't want to.
You worked the crowd.
Yeah, I didn't want to put my hand up and people think, get you.
Yeah.
Like that, San Francisco.
What was the link back?
Obviously, that Jesus is a bridge between heaven and earth.
Right, 40.
But did he get his own slide? No. That bit was done verbally. So, Clifton Suspension Bridge gets his own slide. Jesus doesn't. Is that what the Church of England's all about?
It is a great...
Engineering. It's not about spirituality, it's about engineering. I'm going to try pressing the adverts. Let's all cross our fingers. Yes, it worked. They didn't happen.
Absolute Radio with Frank Skinner.
We've had a couple of texts in, Frank.
What, on 8, 12, 15?
Yeah, one being from Yvette saying, "Had your book for Christmas. How very smart you look in a suit on the cover, Frank. Nice."
Lovely.
No adverts today, but we've smuggled that in, haven't we?
Yeah.
Available in all good bookshops.
We didn't name it. No, I think that's acceptable.
You should try to get some work in the church. You could be Frank Cannon. Hey?
Well, you see what that is. That's a joke about an American TV series, I would say from the 1970s.
Yeah, I don't get it. I was busy being a child.
Yeah, Frank Cannon. Was you? Yeah, Frank Cannon was a very, very fat American cop.
Was he?
Yeah.
Like
the
a fat
only
cop.
The only chops Cannon, are the ones you stuff in your fat mouth. Remember that line from a novelty single at the time that included all the cops.
Oh, really?
What happened to those novelty singles with impressions and clips from... It's all gone.
They're probably just made on YouTube now, aren't they?
So
Nobody ever releases them.
We were just... you're right. We were just revisiting our Christmases as people do when they meet up for the first time in the new year. I think it's perfectly acceptable.
I don't think we've finished dealing with the bridge quiz.
Yeah, what's your problem with the bridge quiz?
I'm fascinated by it as a gambit for a Christmas Day service.
Well, I think they probably thought they don't want to be just talked at, these people.
Yeah.
They want a bit of audience participation. As I say, it wouldn't happen in the Catholic Church. We wouldn't have it. They'd have done it in Latin, just to make it alienating.
I always feel with the Church of England services that I've had to go to in my life, it's sometimes it was a little bit like what I imagine going to a pottery workshop in Devon. Is like it's all a bit unstructured and a bit do what you want, make what you want, and this bridge quiz.
Yeah.
It just what was he thinking?
I'm not saying that we wouldn't have a quiz. I think that I believe, if I remember right, the
torture quiz.
Pope Benedict is all right with quizzes on the church, but in the church, but he's not pro multiple choice. I think we can safely say that. No, I thought it made a difference from if I'd have felt it more at home there, I would have. I recognised one or two of the bridges. Some of them were very difficult.
Bridge bingo.
One of them was like a local sort of Stone Age bridge that was just 4 slabs. I mean, come on, it's Christmas Day. So I'm not condemning them for it.
It's nice that they made you feel welcome, though, and you still didn't quite feel welcome.
They didn't make me feel that welcome.
Oh, didn't they?
No.
All right. I have a sort of...
I did walk in, actually, with a flaming crucifix and shout, "I reclaim this building for the Holy Roman Church." I was only messing about.
Yeah. Christmas Day joke.
Yeah. It was. I held it too close to the Christmas pudding. It went up. I thought, well, I'll use this. Nice. What about you guys?
Pudding. Love it. I I had a weird thing over Christmas. We went to various family members the day after on Boxing Day, as it happens. But
You went visiting.
We went visiting.
Oh,
we did.
visiting.
We did quite a bit of visiting. When we were visiting my in-laws, it still feels weird saying that. It's sort of grown up, innit? Anyway, turned out I had gone there in the boxer shorts I was wearing and just a pair of briefs in my bag, which
God, it was very mild.
I wear.
Wasn't it where you were living?
I had clothes as well.
Oh,
I was
okay.
thinking purely in underwear category.
Okay, fine.
I take some briefs in case I do any sporting activity like running around the park or some.
I take them in case I get dysentery. I always travel with a spare pair of briefs for that very purpose.
I like a cotton boxer, but I don't trouble myself with the dysentery. I'm fine with it.
Okay.
Anyway,
A cotton boxer? Oh no, I like a
crackly
brine nylon.
Oh dear.
Y front. Yeah.
It's good we're all different, isn't it?
Yeah, I like it. It's like having electric shock therapy.
Anyway,
If my underwear doesn't crackle, to me it's let me down. Carry
it
on.
may as well just permanently be in a hair shirt. That's what it sounds like. I hadn't taken any boxer shorts other than the ones that I was wearing, and I mentioned this, and my father-in-law went, "Well, I've got some pants you can have."
What? Oh, whoa!
Yeah,
What?
awkward.
What?
I mean, really awkward. And then
And then did he take them off there and then?
just in the living room while
In
everyone
one
else-
swift move.
Wouldn't it be brilliant if
Cold
he'd
turkey
done that?
sandwiches.
If he'd handed them over, there you go.
So just
Put
in
them
his
on while they're
pocket.
still warm.
No, it turned out he had brand new, unworn boxer shorts upstairs, and
he's a man.
Were they in the packet?
they were in a packet
Yeah.
of sorts.
Sealed.
I still felt I still felt a bit icky about it because it's they were meant for his flesh.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They were getting my flesh. It's sort of a weird. And also, what age do you get to where you just start having things unused in the house in case they come up? It's very like my gran. She would go, "Oh well, I've got a gents t-shirt. If you've forgotten a gents t-shirt."
Was she a
She just had
retailer?
it. No, she just not quite hoarding, but she's just got stuff in case. She's there. But should I have felt icky? Am I right to feel
Well,
a bit?
if you're absolutely certain that they were in the package, rather than the package had been in them.
But you,
they
you
were
you were comfortable enough to discuss your pants situation.
Yeah. To be honest, you started it.
Well, I was not comfortable in the briefs. The briefs I can only really wear for the duration of a run. I can't have them on all day.
I think
Feel hemmed in.
your father-in-law should have started with a slideshow of bridges, which you had today, and then said, "I'm offering you a bridge between your own genitals and mine." Oh, music, I think.
Absolute Radio with Frank Skinner.
There's a rumour going around that the adverts are working again. I haven't tried the button yet, but hold on to your seats. That's all I'm saying. What else?
New Year, as you called it.
Happy New Year.
New Year.
New Year is a time for resolutions.
Oh God, here we go.
Well,
And
she's right. It's no good. It's no good.
But
seriously about
I
it.
never make any
Good on you.
because I feel there's a lot of peer pressure to make resolutions, and I feel like they're the same ones every year. And all you hear is people going on about the fact they've just given up smoking or boozing or chocolate, or they've taken up gym membership. But I feel like I thought I should give something up as well, because I thought, well, I never make a resolution. I thought, should I give up coffee? And I thought, but I like coffee.
Yeah,
Why should I give it up?
can I just say, I think liking it is part of the deal, isn't it? It's
I
not
only
giving up
have
something.
2 cups a day. What? January is quite a difficult, miserable time. You should be taking up things that make you happier,
No, but
rather than
that's the
giving
thing.
up.
I think
That's the issue.
there's a point in that. I think you make a point there. I remember. I don't want to go back again. It's become a very religious program. I remember the beginning of Lent. My priest in Swiss Cottage in London saying, "Now the Lent begins this week, a time of spiritual fulfilment, of renewal of your faith." Left the pause and said, "It's not Weight Watchers."
Weight Watchers, not Lent. That's quite a good advert.
He was very good, actually.
It's not.
Did you do any quizzes?
He never did quizzes, he did rants. That's the difference between the two churches. I think the secret with with a New Year's resolution is to don't give yourself too hard. Don't aim too high. Give yourself something to do. Like my thing of a couple of years ago, I've learned to levitate. It just became, I made a rod for my own back, really. So this year I'm drinking more water.
Is that your thing?
Yeah.
Right. See, I think that's a good thing to do, is to try and add rather than detract. When people say, I'm not doing such and such.
Yeah.
Denial.
I'm going 3 litres.
Yeah.
3 litres a day.
Yeah. Not denial.
So
that's
you're also
too much
taking
water.
up visiting the bathroom a lot more.
Well, I think at first it'll be like that, but after a bit, I imagine it'll just run through me like some one of those little boys you get on fountains.
The mannequin piss in Brussels.
I don't think you can say that, can you?
It's not the
that
British
Latin?
swear.
No,
it's the
it's-
French
Okay.
word.
Well, I'm just apologising to anyone listening, just in case. For me,
PIS.
it sounded like swearing.
Good
Yes.
touch. One of
So-
the bugbears of my life is these sort of modern cliches that give up drinking for January. I just think, don't do that. Drink a
don't
bit
do that.
more in
Called
January.
a
Yeah.
detox.
Yeah, but it's
there's no
not,
such
it's
thing as a
nonsense, isn't it?
detox.
I mean, if you
Yeah.
really want to,
No
drink
such
less.
thing as a detox. Hold on a minute.
Hang on.
Carol Vorderman just sat bolt upright in bed. No such thing as a detox.
The detox is
Where's my
is a
career
made-up
gone?
industry.
Is it?
It doesn't work.
If you give it up forever, but if you give up alcohol for about 2 weeks
Yeah.
and then just resume normal services, you have a detox.
I used to
If you
find
drink
that-
beetroot juice for 2 days, people think I've detoxed everything up to this point in my life.
Yeah, I drank. I bought one of those boxes of beetroot, family box of beetroot from a supermarket, where it says, eat within the next 20 minutes sticker. And I just had it as a meal. I just had a box of beetroot. Forgot about it. 2 days later, I went to the toilet and thought, oh my God, I'm having terrible internal bleeding. I called the doctor out. He was panicking. And he phoned me later and said, I've got your test results. Have you been eating quite a lot of beetroot? And, I mean, I just put the phone down. I was too embarrassed to say any more. But, yeah, so I'm hoping to drink so much water that I'm basically affected by the new moon. I'm hoping to become tidal. That's how much. That I shall basically leave the house and return to it along with the sea. I'm hoping to develop that kind of grey, scummy stuff as well around my perimeters. But we'll see if that happens. Pardon?
Flotsam and Jetsam.
No, that's actual floating bits.
yeah.
I don't. I think
You don't want to develop that around your perimeter.
No, I don't want to get. I don't want to
want the
develop
froth.
flotsam and jetsam. No, I get a feeling that could be a great double act. If anyone's looking, any double act sitting listening, thinking, what we're going to call ourselves? That's the one I would say. I'm going to try pressing the adverts button.
Oh, good.
The fingers crossed didn't work, so I'm going now. I'm kneeling at the moment. We'll see what happens. So,
Turns out genuflecting doesn't work either.
yeah, it's almost like Absolute Radio's very internal soul has made a New Year's resolution to adopt socialism as its general way of thinking, and you know what? I like it.
Absolute Radio with Frank Skinner.
No light, no light. It's another technical problem. No, that is the name of that song by Florence and the Machine. What I like about pressing the adverts and them not coming on, apart from the fact that they don't come on, obviously, is that another 4 people run around very quickly in the corridor after every failed press.
It's like a stress people out button.
Do you think
It is.
do you think the adverts are coming on somewhere else in the UK?
I'm
every time you
hoping
press that
they're
button.
coming on BBC Six Music, just to challenge their slightly hoity-toity attitudes.
What I liked about during that song playing was that you spent some of the time discussing whether or not you had time to go to the toilet, and as predicted by Laura, you're going to spend a lot of 2012 going to the toilet. It's,
Yeah.
That's true, and I've hardly touched my water.
If you
this
pop the
morning.
water uptake up, then immediately
Yeah.
good
I'm
prediction.
still 6 litres to go today.
6 a day? No.
Yeah, I think I can do
Do you,
6
do you,
today.
do you add it over to the next day if you
I
haven't
used to
done
do
enough?
6 litres of lager without even a second
but
thought.
you get a buzz from that, don't you? You get nothing from water
Just get
except
full.
a pee-pee later
Yeah.
on. There's no joy to it.
Pee-pee?
Yeah.
Okay, now I think we seem to be broadcasting on CBeebies.
Well, I just thought, I'll mix up the lingo a bit.
So you haven't made have you made a resolution?
Well, last year my wife resolved to not watch any American films for the whole year.
Why?
That's a fabulous resolution.
It's a great one, actually.
Random, drawn
Well,
out
but
the air, self-punishing.
She had to watch British and foreign European cinema instead.
It was to broaden her
I
film
see.
viewing horizons, because a lot of American films follow the same story
Do they?
Well, they have a sort of a built-in format, whereas some European films are just a bit more novel in their
It's a brilliant
outcome.
resolution.
Brilliant.
Respect
Yeah.
to
And
Mrs.
she's stuck
Cockcroft
to
for
it,
this.
and
she?
and yeah, she's now, of course. Now that we're in 2012, there's loads of American films that came out in 2011 that
She can now watch,
We can
yeah.
watch on DVD, but yeah, she really stuck to it. As a consequence, we did spend some evenings watching Jacques Tati in the Cochrane household.
Well, that's
Good fun.
Yeah, there's like a funny bit every 40 minutes.
I'd give him 20, but
Yeah. Now, but just to stop you there, just for a second, the decade that we're in now. Actually, here on Absolute, we like to bring out a decade-based radio station.
We're not in the
Absolute
noughties.
60s, Absolute
No one's come
70s,
up with a
Absolute
word for
80s,
it.
Absolute not. What are these
I
ones
haven't.
called?
Are they in the
Well, they
tens?
haven't
Are we in the
decided.
Will it be the
tens?
tens? Absolute tens.
Tens. It just doesn't have
It
the
sounds
same.
like too much like tense, isn't it? Absolute teens.
Teens.
But then you're going to be looking for Bieber, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? You're
Yeah.
going to think, oh, it's teen radio.
Well, I guess it is the decade of Bieber, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm
Bieber era.
guessing that the digital channels have been such an enormous success for the Absolute Radio organisation. I don't think they'll be able to wait till the end of this. I bet they're already thinking, could we do the teens now? Just play like 2011 stuff. Who'd notice?
Teens would work, wouldn't it? We could get to 14.
Absolutely,
We should give it a couple of
yeah.
years and go for teens.
Anyway, so she's now watching American films.
She's back on it, but last year I made a resolution of going. I have a
But
lot
that
of footwear.
first one was great, wasn't it? 'Cause you know
We
when you
haven't-
stop smoking and you have that first cigarette.
What was the
I'm not-
first film?
We haven't done one yet. I don't think she's.
You haven't
watched
done an American film yet, and
yet.
it's already the what is it? The seventh.
There was one on over Christmas called Beverly Hills Chihuahua.
Beverly Hills Chihuahua.
But is that
Didn't get a major movie
Was
release.
that American or was it Mexican? So I think that's a Mexican art house movie.
I made a resolution last year to not buy any more footwear because I buy quite a lot
Wow.
of shoes and trainers.
That's a tremendous. I think Douglas Bader made that resolution in 1943 when he lost both legs when he was shot down by the Nazis.
Well, mine was more self-punishing.
I think there's enough time that I can do a joke about that.
Yeah.
And also, he was known by his own colleagues as old tin legs.
Yeah,
So he's a bloke who could laugh about it.
That
Douglas
wasn't a
Bader.
too soon moment, was it? It was
No.
definitely not too soon.
Anyone who
Anyway,
wants to find out more about Douglas Bader, I suggest you watch Reach for the Sky, starring Kenneth Moore.
I lasted till the summer and then went, why am I doing this? I want some new shoes, I'm having them, it's fine.
No, but it's nice to have a random rule that you...
Yeah, an
just
original resolution, you see.
Self-flagellation. It's
Yeah, got
pointless.
to make it interesting.
You see, people who live in, let's say, Iran, they don't do things like this because they've got plenty of people saying you can't do this and you can't do that, so they don't need to come up with it.
Yeah.
We live such freedom. We want a little bit of oppression. We have to get our own. No shoes, no American films, more water, no coffee. I'd love to know what New Year's resolutions our listeners have made. If there's any list, it might well be that way things are going technically. We've been talking to ourselves for the last hour, but you know what? I'm all right with that.
I'd like to have a fight this year. That's one thing
Proper big fight,
properly like
or
a fight.
handbags.
No, I'd like a fight. One that I can win. I'm not-
Unarmed combat.
Well, I think that's the texting.
Text
Anyone
if you want to
would like to fight the cockfighting on Absolute Radio? I'm all for it.
Frank Skinner. Frank Skinner. Absolute Radio.
We've had a text in saying just outside Martlesham Heath in Suffolk there's a pub called the Douglas Bader Arms.
Wow.
No.
I mean, why go for the arms? Well, he's famous for his legs. Fools.
Mind you, pubs aren't really called the something legs, are they?
No, that's
Or maybe they're
because
called the spinner's
people...
legs.
It's very, very difficult to discuss the opening hours
The legs.
without it becoming sordid. That's why arms, you know, I mean, the open arms, it's a lovely welcoming thing, the open, well, anyway. I'll tell you what, there's been a lot of sort of on the radio and stuff. Is this like the predictions for what's going to
be
happen
hot
this
or
year?
not in
Yeah, exactly.
2012?
I notice I haven't been in any of them.
Have you?
No, I've gone through all the comedy, you know, my comedy tips for the year. I thought, oh, surely nothing.
Yeah. I think I was one for the future in Time Out in 2005.
Yeah, well, it didn't. As long as they just said the future and didn't specify.
They didn't say 2005.
That's all right. That clock is still ticking.
Yeah.
Okay, it's getting pretty near midnight.
Yeah, isn't it just?
It's certainly darker over your side of the studio since it's been brought up. No, what I'd like to know is how's it going to go for Russell Grant now that he's got a foothold? Let's say a toehold back in the public domain. What do you do with Russell Grant?
Yeah, he's been fired
That's
out
the
of the
text.
cannon.
No, it isn't the texting.
What do you do
I know
with Russell Grant?
I know some of it will be aggressive. No, I'd like to see Quo Vadis Russell Grant. That's what I'm saying.
Quo Vadis. What does that
with
mean?
a goist.
What is Quo Vadis?
It means with a goist, doesn't it?
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a pub that my grandpa used to be fished out of in Glasgow. So
Does it?
I've never
Are
really.
you just going to
noticed.
talk in pub names?
Yeah.
This is that your New Year's resolution?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was
that's,
saying that to the horse and jockey just the other day.
I'm thinking he might do one of these things of, you know, shooting 8 people in a job centre, Russell Grant.
No.
Oh.
With an automatic weapon that's
Why?
got all those little, you know, those little mirrors from mirror balls. That one he's made himself, so it's spangly.
Why would he do that?
Because I think he's a man who's he thinks now it's all back on again, and if it isn't,
And the cruel hand of entertainment gods are going to snatch away.
He'll blame what he likes to refer to as the public.
The public.
And it won't matter which members of the public get punished. That's my little
Surely
prediction, anyway.
Surely he'll blame the stars, won't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot he was an
He'll
astronomer.
go back to predicting. That's what
Yeah.
he'll do.
They never mentioned he was an astronomer, though, on the show. This was a big, I'm going to call it a bugbear. It was a bugbear of mine.
Yeah.
That they kept on about, he's shot out of a cannon, and never mentioned the fact that he claims the supernatural gift to predict the future. That wasn't the thought being worth mention. In fact, they just wanted to go on about him being roly-poly. I mean, what priorities?
I'm looking forward to the forms of sporting hyperbole that are going to happen come the summer. Because, you know, when there's a World Cup on, a European Cup, the sporting hyperbole gets quite big. But this is the Olympics.
Bear in mind, there is also a European Championships before then, so there'll be a ramp. There'll be a hyperbolic ramp.
Yeah, people just
which is what I had fitted in the 1980s to stop my stomach from falling.
And the Diamond Jubilee. Who's going to play guitar on the roof?
That's a very good question.
Is there a Diamond Jubilee? The Olympics is really...
You didn't know about the Queen's Diamond Jubilee?
I didn't know about that. I'd forgotten about that. Maybe it's in my consciousness, but the Olympics has perhaps stolen that space
You've only got
in my
room
mind.
for one big event.
Yeah, but you're quite right, because it was Brian May for the Golden Jubilee.
Yeah.
I don't know
They're
who
gonna up
he's...
the ante.
Yeah,
I hope it's not going to be Brian again.
Will it be Justin Bieber?
maybe.
No, because you can't do that kind of dancing on a sloped roof. I wouldn't like to see him. I don't think any of us would like to see him fall. That's a good question, though. I'd like maybe some... who's going to play guitar on the... Was it Buckingham Palace roof?
Yeah,
Is that
it
on?
was. It was, yeah.
Perhaps they won't have a guitar. Perhaps they'll have a certain celebrity playing a ukulele.
Oh,
Hey,
oh,
hey,
Hey.
oh.
hey.
Gap in the market.
No, I'm liking the sound of that.
Absolute Radio. Frank Skinner.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. I'm with Alan Cochrane and Laura Solon. And we're having a fabulous time.
Yes, indeed. Somewhat blighted by technical difficulty, but I hope...
I don't know if it's been blighted. In a way, I think it's been raised up.
I was just going to say, I hope you're coping without your advertising, dear listeners. Somebody has got in touch saying, hi Cockrell, that's my nickname from Frank, by the way. Hi Cockrell, your mention of a certain celebrity playing the uke on top of Buckingham Palace is a great idea, but do we even know if Ricky Tomlinson is available?
And also, would Buckingham Palace take Ricky Tomlinson on the roof? Wouldn't people think that something very terrible and possibly terminal had happened to the man in the moon if they were going past unaware?
It took Brian May's hair.
Good point.
That's true. Can I point out, by the way, on the morning of technical things, that was a technical error because Ricky Tomlinson is a banjo player.
Oh, is he?
Oh.
Oh, good. I like it when people get pedantic about stuff like that. Somebody's texted in saying subject.
Oh, they started with... Oh, okay.
Subject, and then a colon saying, road called Barder Walk. Battle of Britain Estate in Northfleet, Kent has a road called Barder Walk.
The Battle
See,
of
that's
Britain
wrong.
Estate. That is a good name for an
It
estate,
is, yeah.
isn't it?
What, yeah.
I like the sound of that. Never were so many houses built by so many for the benefit of so few.
Indeed.
That's what they said about the overstaffing by Wimpy on that particular estate. Douglas we were saying earlier, Douglas Bader, or Bader, I've always called him Bader. Let's call the whole thing. That bloke got his leg shot off by the Nazis. He had his leg shot off and became a very famous war hero known as Old Tin Legs.
Yeah.
And calling it Douglas Bader Walk is robbing it in a bit, isn't it?
Innit?
No
So
need
we've had
for
a
that.
text that I don't really understand here from 264.
Do you feel you should read it out?
No, it's...
Is it in Urdu?
It's just because I don't... No, it's not in Urdu.
It's not in Urdu.
I'm fluent in Urdu.
Oh, okay.
Frank, what about Matthew Bellamy playing guitar on the roof of Buckingham Palace for the Jubilee? Who's Matthew Bellamy?
Now, you see that we're probably showing our ignorance. It'll be someone from Red Hot Chili Pepper. Oh, no, that's Sarah, our assistant. Boo Radley's? Muse, thanks very much. Just say it. You don't have to mime. I don't want to cheat the listeners. I don't know who he is, and I'm happy to say that. What about Craig Bellamy on the roof? To really alienate the whole nation. He's Welsh. She's the Queen of Wales as well. Did you forget that?
Oh, yeah, I suppose so.
Oh, yeah, Queen of Wales.
Well, they've got an assembly, haven't they? They might not want...
So, yes. What's he called? Gary Bellamy. Matt Bellamy from Muse.
Gary Bellamy. We've gone through all the Bellamys now.
Yeah. He's the guy. He's not the gardening bloke. No, I'm sorry, I didn't know the name of the guitarist from Muse. I own up to that.
Somebody's texted in about their New Year's resolution. My daughter's asked me what my New Year resolution would be as midnight arrived, and I told them it was to be more tolerant. This lasted approximately 30 seconds when the youngest knocked my beer over. Is this a record for the quickest resolution broken? At least he's done, though, now he can get on with 2012.
Yeah, it's out of the way.
I think you're allowed.
But you can keep your resolution up. If you break it once, it's not the end of the resolution.
You can
some people think it is.
Yeah.
No, you consider that just a stumble.
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I think that's it. It's gone. He may as well get back to his own
It's not
life.
a sponsored silence.
No, I think it
Once
is.
you talk, that's gone.
Really?
Other resolutions, you can keep going with them.
Oh,
I understand that our advertisers are on a sponsored silence this morning.
Yeah,
I've
that's
put
my
in
prediction.
10 grand. So, what else is happening? Oh, I'll tell you what is happening tomorrow, which is quite exciting. And that is that Dancing on Ice is beginning. A
that's
programme
exciting.
I've never seen, but I like the fact that it exists.
It frightens me.
Yeah, like so many things. There's a lot of things. It's like modern art. Much of modern art. It doesn't give me joy, but I'm glad it exists. Yeah, it's a good thing. And I like it's so dangerous dancing
It's
on ice.
running around with knives attached to your feet. That's
is.
what ice skating is.
You're quite right. I wish they'd call it that. Celebrities run around with knives attached
On
to
a
their feet.
slippery surface.
They'd still be queuing up. That's what I love about it. Well, we'll talk about. I think we should play some music. But I'm slightly fascinated of all the reality shows. It's had its own specialness, I think. I'm so interested and so excited. I'll announce my New Year's resolution, and that is to keep playing The Fall.
Absolute Radio with Frank Skinner.
Texts?
Yeah, there's a text from 0210 who says Barder lost his legs in a plane crash. I think you said...
But wasn't he shot down by the Nazis?
I think you said they were shot off.
Well, that's just, I mean, are we going to split hairs, as they say in Germany?
I think they...
Yeah, okay, we'll look into. I think he was. If he's shot down by the Nazis, it's possible to say that he had his leg shot off by the Nazis.
Mm.
But
That's
maybe
the headline. That's the headline.
That's the headline,
you
yeah.
write about it.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not that topical.
Maybe 210 has made a New Year's resolution to be more pedantic than he was last year.
Or paediatric. Yeah, but no, I'm always happy to learn. Maybe, yeah. I think there was. So he survived a plane crash as well. What a man he was, Douglas Bader. I love it. I'm loving him. He's our theme this morning.
We've replaced adverts with Bader.
Yeah,
who'd have thought?
Yeah, I'm like it. So anyway, I was talking about Dancing on Ice, which he didn't do.
No.
Well, which sounds like it's much more dangerous.
Yeah,
they've all broken limbs and shoulders.
I mean, what kind of a series hits crisis at the loss of Chesney Hawkes? When that's it, Chesney's gone. Oh, what? Is it Chico? Is that the replacement for Chesney?
They need
Hawkes?
a CH, Chesney.
It is, yes.
He's in the
I'm getting a thumbs up from Sandy War. She's got her finger on the pulse of Dancing on Ice. Yeah, it's
Was
Chico.
it a one-hit wonder spot?
Yeah, but can you actually skate whilst pointing at your wristwatch? I imagine that affects your balance.
They'll
somewhat.
factor that into a dance, though,
Yeah.
won't they?
Yeah,
On
oh,
ice.
definitely.
On ice.
Absolutely, definitely. I'll tell you, they're a bit older, apparently, some of the big names.
Mm-hmm.
Like Charlene Tilton.
Are there big names?
Charlene Tilton, to me, is a big name, because she used to be in Dallas.
Mhm.
Dallas, that had the best opening to any theme tune on the telly ever. Dun, 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 dun. Bit of wah-wah. You never hear wah-wah now in a...
Not enough wah-wah.
No.
No, it's gone out of the
Maybe
whole
they'll-
TV theme business.
Maybe she'll do a dance based on the theme tune.
Actually, it's gone a bit James Stewart.
There's also fitness guru Rosemary Conley.
Oh, yeah,
Surely
she?
she's got a bit of a head start, because she'll have coordination, won't she? From
There's
all
a
that,
skier.
like, what's it? What? There's a
British
skier?
skier Chemi Olcott. She'll be brilliant at it, presumably.
Well, not necessarily. Just because she's good on ice with the skis.
It's all
she's
slipping, isn't it?
She's a snow person, really.
It's not her medium, ice.
I think she
ice
probably
is not my medium.
She
I'm more
avoids-
into sand,
Yeah, exactly.
carpet.
Yeah. Well, if it was called Dancing on Carpet,
If it was non-dancing on carpet, I
Yeah,
think
but
I'd be
it
a
was
shoe-in.
sitting on sofas.
why do they call it Dancing on Dance Floor? And the BBC thinking, hold on, isn't this a little bit like Strictly?
Nobody looks good in an ice skating costume.
I don't agree.
Nobody
I think
looks good.
girls look... what about Sonia
The
Heaney?
shiny tights.
I don't like them.
I love shiny tights.
Why do they have to wear those outfits? I mean, particularly the
Partly
blokes.
for
Why
warmth.
can't they just? Well, what if they're wearing it for warmth? Why can't we pop them in a nice woolly jumper? You know me. I love a bit of
Christmas
knitwear.
Yeah.
Pop them in a cardigan.
I
or
think you
something.
could probably do that as long as you want sort of that on the ladies. You want those white boots and shiny
You want
tights.
thick clothing in case you fall on the hard ice surface.
How come they don't wear helmets and things on their
I don't know.
elbows?
How are they insured?
Yeah.
One
How
of
are they
the
insured?
one of the clearly most dangerous where you're going to hit your head, and they don't wear helmets.
When they spin the women round, and they're basically just like a centrifuge, just spinning them round, and then if they dropped them, I mean, it's
Yeah.
just it's not safe.
No,
It's not.
There's a
And
sugar babe in it.
is that which
Yeah,
one?
Heidi Sugar Babe.
Oh, Heidi's doing it.
Are they still going?
Yes,
Are they?
they're still going. Yeah, I
They
think.
can't afford to lose any more members, can
But
they?
they've gone. I think the older people have gone in because you have to basically put them on ice when they're under those lights, or they start to smell.
And also, old people are used to slipping in winter.
Well,
They think,
exactly.
I was
Yeah.
all right for this.
Yeah, apparently Rosemary Conley.
This is just like going to the shops.
Yeah.
Going to the shops on ice.
Rosemary Conley said she won't do it until they've gritted. But I used to be, or more or less, in love with Charlene Tilton when she was in Dallas. She was very, very... You know those in the opening bits when they turn and look to camera during...
Yeah.
It's a beautiful face.
I
yeah.
was in love with Corey Feldman.
And I was in love with Chesney Hawkes. So we've done the full three there, haven't we?
I don't quite know who Corey Feldman is.
80s child actor, Corey Feldman. Although he says he's worked consistently since then, so he shouldn't be described as an
whatever.
80s actor.
What was he in?
Oh, he was in The Lost Boys, he was in The Goonies, he was in Stand By Me.
Good in the Goonies. He's good in the Goonies.
Good in the Goonies is...
a lot of things.
He's actually my family motto. I don't know why, but... no, I don't know him. What's he called? Corey Paving? Who's Corey Pavin? Who is that? Can you text me please and tell me who Corey Pavin? Because we don't Google anything, not when we've got Google. So let us know. I really want to know who Corey Pavin. Oh, Corey Pavin, he's famous, isn't he? Don't look at me blankly like that.
Is that not a type of brickwork or something?
Crazy, that's crazy paving.
Crazy paving.
Yeah. Oh, I hope he's got a brother called
darts
Crazy.
player.
Absolute Radio with Frank Skinner.
Thank you, everyone who's texted in telling me that Corey Pavin was or is an American golfer.
I have to say that we already had technical difficulties, but your direct question, who is Corey Pavin, has come close to blowing up the system here.
Oh, yeah, but thank you so much. You don't know how lovely. It's like you've always got your cleverest mate with. It's phone a friend, is what it is.
It is, yeah.
And there was a lovely moment when Sandy Waugh, who's next door, mimed golf to give me a hint as well.
Yeah, nice.
It's lovely. Oh, I love it. I love human beings.
This one from 3053. Corey Pavin is an American golfer who once refused to give a 9-year-old me an autograph at Royal Lytham. I hate him for it.
Excellent. There's so many reasons I like that text. The 9-year-old me is one of them.
9-year-old me.
And the hate that still burns.
Yeah, that happened to me with Don Revie, or Reevy, if you prefer, the former Leeds United and England manager.
Right?
And indeed the United Arab Emirates. And he kept me. I waited in the rain for him. There was 3 of us, so it would have took him 20 seconds to sign 3 autographs. Not only did he not sign, but he kind of physically pushed us out of the way. We were all about 11.
Oh.
Maybe that's where they got their aggressive style of play from.
But it was classic Revie Leeds attitude.
Shoulder barge and no manners. Sounds like Revie.
Yes.
There's been another text that I really like that, it's just moved. Hang on, sorry. Technical difficulties. Blight us one more time.
Don't try and blame everything on that
One more
now.
time. It's about Douglas Bader.
I'm calling him Barder.
Barder, let's go Barder. Douglas Barder also coined the phrase the whole 9 yards, as the ammo belts for the Spitfires were 27 feet long, and using them up in one burst was how it came about.
Is that right? Douglas Barder invented a phrase which I must admit I've never heard before, but that's brilliant.
Never used the whole 9 yards?
No, what does that mean?
Well, it means doing it all. You're going the whole way.
That's the name of a
really?
movie.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm going the whole 9 yards, that's what you'd say.
on the whole 9 yards. So people are nodding, but now that you've questioned it, it's making me think that's a weird thing to say. Why would I ever say that?
No, but I'm
what
glad.
circumstances would I talk
I'm
like
glad
this?
that you say it. You're a character.
There's
no
a
mistake.
There's a text from Yvette in West Brom who texted in to say, Corey Pavin is a golfer. We once saw him at Universal Studios waiting in a queue holding a handbag and have got a photo.
Oh.
No, it's coming out.
Might be a man bag.
No, but to be fair, that could be one of those when the girlfriend says, I'm going to the toilet, can you hold my handbag? You know that really terrible thing when you have to hold it but not properly. You don't use the handle. Put it under your arm.
on your shoulder.
So you think, I'm completely unfamiliar with the handbag as a
Round your neck.
concept, I'm just doing a favour. So, is he alive, Corey? Any answers?
Some people have said was and some people say is. I'm not sure.
Some people someone texted and suggested he died in a plane crash. I don't know if that was a Douglas Bader
I
reference.
think it might be.
But
That's when the show gets a
obviously,
theme and we get
either
confused.
way, our thoughts are with his family. The Pavins. They're crazy. So, yes, we was trying to talk about Dancing on Ice, but we can't get right. Did I tell you I used to be in love with Charlene Tilton?
Yes.
Very, very squat. Very squat.
Tiny.
Which I think, well, not just tiny, but squat. A woman
Right.
you felt you couldn't push over.
Well, that's good for
Very
Dancing
low
on Ice
centre of
then, isn't
gravity.
it?
Yeah, I think she'll be great on Dancing on Ice. In that, she has very low centre of gravity. I think she'll be like a sled in many ways. I think she's my favourite. That's my prediction for 2012. Tilton for Ice.
Frank Skinner. Frank Skinner. Absolute Radio.
We have returned.
We have, and there's loads of Corey texts. They're now coming in as Corey texts because they're about various Coreys. Corey Feldman from Lost Boys and Gremlins is alive. Corey Haim from Lost Boys is not alive.
Well, you know.
It's good to clarify. Thank you, Paula.
He is now a lost boy.
Indeed.
Our thoughts are with... Actually, mine are still with Corey Pavin's family, and I think he's still alive. Will you stop turning paper, everyone? There's so much paper going on in the background. It's like when they do the big count on election night.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking around for a rosette.
There's a lot of paper cuts those nights, I imagine.
Oh, is there anything worse?
They're the worst.
Obviously, there are lots of things worse.
Everyone says they're the worst, but
yeah.
they seem insignificant compared to real cuts. Don't
No,
they?
they do, but they surprise you. If somebody goes at you with a knife, you're thinking there's a cut on the way here, but not when you're just shuffling. Is there any other Corey-based...
I've moved on. There's various missives from the listeners over the festive period. We had an email. I just need to share what I think is a middle-aged trait, but it's one of those you hope isn't just you. Since I turned 40, I found that whenever I'm going out, I go around the entire house, switching everything off at the plug. Computers, printers, phone chargers, television, skybox, toaster, that's everything in his house. I even sucked a thoughtful tooth and stood looking at the fridge. Oh, I do that a lot.
God, I hope he never gets a job in intensive care.
Yeah, exactly.
I hope he'll be an accident waiting to
He
happen.
lost his job in a hospital. Yeah, I know there's a strong argument for saving money and the Earth's resources, but to be honest, I'm not sure that's why I'm doing it. I think it's just an age thing. This I like. Dear educated, trustworthy, esteemed panel of my peers. That's what he's calling us.
That's
Please
lovely.
tell me I'm not the only one with this compulsion. No, I do that.
I definitely...
Turning stuff
I
off.
do the opposite.
Do you?
Sometimes if I'm going out, I'll just turn the volume down on the telly and leave the picture on.
Really?
Yeah.
Based on what grounds? I thought you lived
So
in a
that-
flat. It's not like people are walking past thinking, oh, we could get in there.
No, but you can see into our flat. So it means that as I walk off towards the bus stop, I'm not going to have one last look at me telly. No, I don't. What is the point? Why does standby lights and buttons and that exist if you're not supposed to leave them on?
My grandmother used to unplug her television because she thought that if there was a storm and the lightning struck the house, it would blow up the television and then set fire to the house. I don't know if this is science or just...
Well, if lightning strikes the house, all bets are off.
Yeah, it strikes the TV aerial. But it felt like if you unplugged, the TV would be safe, even if the house burnt to the ground.
Yes. Well, we used to do this thing when there was lightning. They would open. My parents would open the knife drawer and put a tea towel over the knives, forks, and spoons, so that the lightning would stop the lightning from striking the cutlery. Because it makes a beeline for cutlery lightning. And if you're aware of that,
Goes for the. I thought it was the highest metal that it went for.
All this
and
Rather than working its way
cutlery.
down the house into the
You need to read the small print, my friend,
through the
when you're looking at natural phenomena. Yeah, don't think. Yeah.
But lightning, if they can't see the cutlery, it won't.
Lightning
get to it.
can... Yeah, exactly. It's the
I was
idea
gonna strike some
is to
cutlery.
fool it with a tea towel. It's not dissimilar to bullfighting. The theory behind that if you hold a red cloak over there, he'll think you're over there.
I think I'd rather do bullfighting than dancing on ice. I think I'm
That would
so
be a good
afraid
show.
of getting my fingers chopped off by somebody else's ice skates.
It's
I
only a
just
matter
find
of
that
time, isn't
petrifying.
it? Celebrity bullfighting.
That would be
Yeah,
great,
it would
wouldn't
be a great show.
Russell Grant.
Yeah, no, you'd need a bull.
Absolute Radio. Frank Skinner.
Noel Gallagher, if I had a gun, which I predict will be used on the end-of-year montage of the photographs of Russell Grant post job centre shooting. Have we had any texts in or
Oh
anything?
yeah, they're still texting in about plane crashes.
Oh no, this
There's
is
a lot about
it's
plane
plane crash day on the
Payne
Frank Skinner.
Stewart died in plane crash. Corey still alive? I don't know.
Corey's still alive. Payne Stewart is another golfer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
Corey Pavin, he's all right.
that's clearing that.
I say
up,
he's
is it?
all right. You shouldn't have turned down that autograph.
No, that sounds churlish
Yes,
at best.
he was. Churlish was probably his brother.
Churlish Pavin.
Churlish Pavin. I like. Churlish is all right as a Christian name.
It's one step less mad than Crazy Pavin, isn't it?
So, Alicia Dixon,
Yes.
as she's
jumped
done the
ship.
bid. It's a bit like going from Man United to Liverpool, or Liverpool to Man United, maybe.
I suppose.
A transfer route which has rarely been trodden, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's what they call a big money transfer in the tabloids.
Yeah.
In the
From
Lloyds.
dancing to general talent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
She's gone from
easier in a way,
specialism
isn't
to generalism.
Well, I suppose because she was a singer initially, Alicia Dixon, she then went on to the dancing programme.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's got that background, you see, of general showbiz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's been headhunted, which is odd because she's got a very small head. Beautiful woman.
She is. Yeah.
I think that someone tried Shrink and gave up. I think no, she's going to wake up. We better stop now. But yeah, she's got. There are theories that Simon Cowell did it just to prove that they're superior to Strictly Come Dancing.
Are they really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, can you imagine that?
It's almost like Cal's got something to prove after Red or Black, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
It's been described as a defection.
Has it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's up there with
Cold War.
Yeah.
Kim
She's a
Kim
defector.
Philby and all those guys. Guy Burgess.
And then
Sir
it's
Anthony
referred to
Blunt,
as a coup.
Traitor Blunt, as my posh doctor once called
You know,
it.
defectors just off the top of your head.
Oh, yeah. I know a few.
Oh, that'll be the next text in.
Yeah.
Name some defectors, why don't you?
No, it's interesting that she's basically become a judge now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that idea. I wonder if she'll do the local magistrates' court.
Yeah, or like one of those county shows where you judge the best
Yeah.
sheep.
Oh,
Cattle
yeah.
and
Pop a
all
rosette on a bit.
Yeah.
Cattle and/or Russell Grant. Yeah. Now I'd like to see her in the local assizes saying things like, well, it wasn't. I'll be honest, it wasn't a perfect embezzlement, but what I love about you is you give it everything.
What, like a celebrity magistrate's court?
Yeah,
that would be a good show.
There should be more of that. It's I've done a bit of judging in my time. I'll be honest with you.
In a professional capacity rather than just tutting at people at the bus stop.
Yes, exactly.
That's my level of judging.
But I try not to, because as you know, judge ye not, for as ye judge, so shall ye be judged.
On your dancing.
We're back.
I would be bad for Alicia Dixon when
Yeah.
she goes.
That's true. If that had been Alicia Dixon's New Year's resolution, she'd be out of work. But yeah, I judged a few. I've judged some that dancing for comic relief, sport relief thing. I've done a couple of those things. Judging.
That's sort of a fun thing, though, isn't it? So it doesn't make you a baddie, really.
Yeah, but you still have to have that moment when you decide
critical?
who goes through and who doesn't.
Oh,
You have to
okay.
leave the big gaps and all that.
Did you feel compelled to be overly positive or medium positive, or did you actually say negative things about
You
people?
go in hard.
I didn't go in hard. Rebecca Front did Bjork, and in a very sort of cosy way, and I said it looked a bit like Mom's Gone to Iceland, but she smiled about it. I thought that was fine. Now I tell you what I did do. I judged a comedy competition once. Never again. I judged a comedy competition in Edinburgh, and this guy I thought was far and away the best. We got to the judges' table in our secret room after, and I said, "Well, there's only one bloke in this." He was far. His material was 50 times better than everybody else's. Is it even worth having a judge type discussion? And they all said, "No, you're right." So we gave this guy one. I went up. I did the handshake, the photos, gave him a trophy, and all that. So I was in the bar after. I saw Mark Lamar. Mark Lamar. Never mind the Bosscocks, etc. A man who knows more about music than anyone I've ever met in my life. He said to me, he also knows quite a bit about comedy, like the history of. And he said to me, "I can't believe you gave it to that bloke." I said, "Why?" And then he listed off the comedians whose material he'd been using in his bit. So that's why he was quite a bit better. And I felt I'd been duped.
He was doing a mixtape of covers.
I felt so. I'd actually rewarded.
Yeah.
It's like, I suppose, if after that fabulous Susan Boyle thing, when she went on and everyone thought, "Oh, look at this, chubby old housewife," and then she had this amazing voice. If you'd been there and seen how amazing that was, and then you walk past the dressing room and she was just getting out of a fat suit. felt like that, like I'd been...
Absolute Radio with Frank Skinner.
We've been texted by 899 on the subject of Corey Pavin, of course.
Of course, who else?
Yes, Corey Pavin wore a Desert Storm cap at the Ryder Cup. Not good, says 899. Oh,
Well, I
okay.
suppose you could argue it as allies, but I know what I mean. It seems to be making something cool, dudish out of warfare. Whereas Douglas Bader used to wear Czech +4s
Didn't he?
and a Pringle sweater in the World War II.
Can we ask if Frank is going to Elvis convention in Birmingham this weekend? What am I, his PA?
I'm not going to that. But I bet it'll be great.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Missed
won't
the
be there.
opportunity to answer, didn't you?
I did. Sorry.
Is that a really tedious joke if you're an actual Elvis fan? He's done the joke.
No.
Oh, God, here we go.
No, I think it's fun. I liked it. I'm just bitter that I didn't do it. You're quite right. I made a terrible fool of myself. Speaking of rock legends,
Yes.
I hear there's going to be an Elton John biopic.
Oh.
What about that?
Biopic, yeah.
He is.
Biopic.
I think myopic.
Biopic.
A myopic. He's myopic.
Yeah.
A myopic biopic.
He's definitely got something wrong with his eyes, hasn't he? Yeah, and he wants Justin Timberlake to play him in the film.
Yeah, it makes you wonder about whether he's got the right prescription. Elton, when he looks in the mirror,
But
he
you
says,
want the aspirational version of yourself on the big screen.
Justin Timberlake
Hats
to play
off to
Elton.
him.
Yeah.
No, well, hair off to him.
Who do you think should play him instead if you're going for more realism?
I'd
just-
go for that guy that used to be on Coronation Street with the big glasses. Is it Reg Holsworth? It'd be perfect.
That'd be great.
It'd be
That
perfect.
would be perfect. You're right. He's the man.
For the more
certainly-
modern Elton John.
It's certainly between him and Justin Timberlake.
Well, that's
Or
my
the great
plan.
Soprendo. What was he called?
I'm
yeah.
not the casting director.
Did
but
he
I
wear
think
glasses?
Young,
though?
No, but he could.
Yeah.
young Elton, Justin, old Elton, Reg Holsworth.
No,
Like
I
Russell
think-
Grant.
Right, yeah, that'd be it. No, Russell Grant is going to play Britain in it. he's the set.
Like the weather map that Fred Dibner used to do. Russell Grant just lying there.
Exactly. Do you think Elton just was, when he said Justin Timberlake, he was just reminiscing about his recent work boot shopping? And he actually said, I was just in Timberland and mixed up. I think Ant and Dec could play Elton John and his partner David Furness.
Could they? Who'd be who? Have you thought of that?
I think it's pretty clear that Dec would be Elton and Ant.
Why do you think that's clear?
Oh, I think so, yeah. 'Cause
So
you can see.
they have to appear together all the time on screen. So
Well, I just think that that they've let this out. Now they've become people who basically read out loud, whereas they used to be actors in Biker Grove.
they were very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And singers.
And I think one of them was blind, wasn't
Yes,
they? So
PJ.
it's only a hop, step, and a jump to myopic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anything's easier, isn't it?
And I mean, there's someone else who pilot-like is trying to wash their hands after Red and Black, Red
Yes.
or Black. Not Red and Black. That'll be the next one. The next one will be called Red and Black because they felt Red or Black was too difficult for the contestants. Yeah, I've often wondered when the Frank Skinner biopic is made, which obviously I myself then will have to probably do some mass murdering to get that made. Who would play me? I'm thinking Megamind.
Megamind.
You know Megamind, the cartoon character. He's got the same shaped head as me. He'd need a small wig. But I think he could carry it off. Definitely.
Nice.
Who would? I could see Kirsten Dunst doing the Laura Solon story. What do you think?
Dunst.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Well, yeah, no.
Who would you choose to play you?
I don't know, but presumably it would be when I was about 60, so it would have to be someone who's
Judi
about
Dench.
10
Judi
now.
Dench. Yeah, you want to do? Judi Dench will still be.
Because you can't have a biopic done halfway through your life. You have to be...
Oh, I think you
Because
can.
Kirsten Dunst is about my age, so
Well, that's good then.
she could play the old me.
Yeah, but is Meryl Streep any older than Margaret Thatcher?
I think I think she might be.
That's not
curious.
that's not the texting. In case you want.
It's a bit late in the day.
I think it's the accent they'd struggle. I think Kat Deely would have to play me in the biopic. That would work. Kate Blanchett played Bob Dylan in I'm Not There.
Oh, of course.
So it's all
did,
possible.
yeah.
And maybe Lenny Henry could do me on the radio version.
That'd work as well. It's all happening.
That's all sorted then. That's the biopic stuff sorted. I think
Apparently I look like a grown-up version of the little boy who's in the musical of Billy Elliot on the poster, you know, when he's jumping like
Oh,
that.
you look like
Do
that.
you jump a lot like
Apparently
that?
I look like him.
Oh,
Now
okay.
it'll come back to you, and obviously radio listeners are perplexed by this very notion, but they'll eventually get there.
I
Images.
think you look a bit like Andy Fairweather Lowe.
Andy Fairweather Lowe. That's
Yeah.
a Google image search for
Yeah.
me for later on.
That's your homework. Okay, so that's
I'll write
about
that
it
down.
from us. Not the Weekend podcast. Oh dear. Not the Weekend Popsy, which is our new Happy Days themed podcast. Will be available from Wednesday. Mark Crossley's next. Thank you very much for bearing with us through our technical difficulties. I think the show's been better for it. But that's controversial and not very helpful to the station. It relies on advertisers' money for the upkeep. So just forget I said that. Anyway, if the good Lord spares us and the Greeks don't rise. Oh,
they're
no,
not.
revolutionary talk.
They're nice.
It's gone so wrong at the end. So wrong at the end. And the Greeks don't rise. We'll be back this time next week with adverts. Goodbye.
Absolute Radio with Frank Skinner.